Hi there. We're the literary luminaries made up of four future high school English teachers. So naturally, when it came time to decide on a topic for our final project, we turned to Shakespeare. At the beginning, we went back and forth between which grade we wanted to teach and which play we wanted to use, but we ultimately decided on 12th grade English students and tackling the cumulative project of Hamlet. For our final project, we have decided that students will be placed in groups. We will have read the play together in class, so they'll have a working knowledge of it. And the final project is actually broken down into three parts. Students will be responsible for writing and filming a reimagined scene from Hamlet based around the character of their choice. They're going to have to reinterpret a classic scene using modern language, modern tropes, and even modern settings if they so choose. The film will then be shown in class for their peers. Next, students will be asked to write a group paper that will be a close reading of their character analysis. So, for example, if they've chosen to do the closet scene, they may choose Gertrude, and then write a paper surrounding that character's motivations and how he or she fits into the overall play. They can talk about theme as well, symbolism. This is their chance to show us what they've learned. And finally, for the third portion, students will be doing a group presentation using either PowerPoint or Prezi to summarize both their paper's analysis and talk their classmates through their reimagined scene. So this is obviously very complex, geared towards more advanced 12th graders, probably AP Lit, possibly college prep. But we are very confident in our use of the Pennsylvania standards needed for this project, such as analyzing the relationship between central themes in a text, providing strong textual evidence to support an analysis, and so on. All six nets are addressed, from creativity and innovation all the way through technology operations and concepts. And at the end of this project, students will absolutely be ready for a college level course. So enjoy our breakdown of our final presentation by my group mates.
Thank you, Sarah. The first element of your project is the paper. This will be the foundation for your work within this project. Students will write a joint paper showcasing their close reading of the text by analyzing their character and how that character's motivations and decisions fit within the play's themes. This paper should be 2 to 3 pages in length. The paper should connect the character study to the reimagined scene chosen for the video portion of the project. This can be done by referencing this scene throughout your character analysis. This paper should show that you have a clear understanding of the character that you have been assigned and their role within the play. It should also give explanation for their behavior and motivations within the play. Let's look at the rubric that we have created for the criteria that you will be graded on for this project. A successful paper will give accurate study of character and focus, in depth and with explanation of their motivation and behavior. It will apply character analysis to plot and explain the motivations behind each character's actions. It will use proper grammar, sentence structure, and correct paper formatting. On the other side, an unsuccessful paper will have a lack of accurate information or description of their character. It will not completely connect the character traits and decisions in the plot, and it will also be unsuccessful in its use of grammar and formatting. Good luck on your project and enjoy the process.
Thank you, Paula. To help demonstrate students' understanding of their character, they will write and later film a reimagined scene from Hamlet based around their character. This reimagining is a reinterpretation of a classic scene using modern language and tropes. Students will collaborate together on a script, which will be turned in as part of the assignment. The goal of this aspect of the project is to help in students' analysis of their character. In order to successfully complete this part of the project, students must have read and understood Shakespeare's Hamlet. They must have an understanding of basic literary devices so they may reimagine a scene that, while containing updated language and set in the modern day, stays true to the original text in terms of plot and motivations. Click on the link in the description to view an animated example of how students can reimagine a classic Hamlet scene. This part of the project will fulfill aspects of constructivism. By working in groups, students will draw on their prior knowledge of the play and synthesize that knowledge into a multimedia project that requires them to rewrite and reinterpret a famous scene, as well as analyze character motivations and plot points as they relate to theme. Several levels of Bloom's digital taxonomy are also represented in this part of the project. For example, previously developed skills of recalling and understanding are applied in the creation of a new scene. Additionally, multiple intelligences are represented in this project, as verbal and interpersonal learners have an opportunity to excel through the writing of the script and spoken dialogue. The reimagined scene helps fulfill the decide and design aspects of the DDDE process. Groups decide which scene they will recreate and how they will approach that reimagining, and then the groups design, that is to say, write, their script. Here is the evaluation rubric for the reimagined scene. Note how in order to score excellent, groups must have clean copy, free of errors, and a properly translated script in modern language that stays true to the original text. Conversely, an unacceptable reimagined scene would have multiple grammar errors and fail to capture the meaning and motivation behind the original text. And now Jamie will cover the video aspect of the project.
Thank you, Kyle. After rewriting their chosen scene, students will begin planning out their film. This will include scenery, costume design, actors, lighting, music, and props. Each group will submit a detailed storyboard, including frame-by-frame blocking for their scene remake. Here's an example of the acceptable storyboard format. When rehearsing their scene, students will want to consider the different ways in which they may choose to portray a character, keeping in mind that body language and diction while acting may say just as much as the words themselves. Students should consider the way that Shakespeare originally intended these characters to be portrayed, although this is a reimagining, so there's some wiggle room for creativity here. Click on the link below to listen to a short lecture on different acting styles that students may choose to use in their videos. Once students have adequately planned and rehearsed their reimagined scene, they will employ their knowledge of multimedia tools to film their reimagined scene and upload it to YouTube for viewing. In the video portion of this project, students will get an opportunity to work together creatively. Students may get imaginative and show off their artistic side in their choice of costume, scenery, music, etc. They will prove their mastery of iMovie or other filmmaking software and of YouTube. Most importantly, students will demonstrate an understanding of copyright laws and responsible digital citizenship when completing this portion of their project. As you can see from the video rubric, students will be graded on 3 main video criteria: the video itself, the actor's performance, and group participation. An excellent score would mean that the entire team worked together to produce a well-thought-out, organized video in which rehearsal is apparent and voice fluctuation and body movements add to the overall mood of the video and characterization being depicted. On the other hand, an unacceptable video would exhibit no signs of rehearsal or line memorization, have awkward voice fluctuation, and rigid, unnatural body movements. An unacceptable video would be unorganized, and there would be very little thought or attention to detail apparent. Now Sarah will explain the requirements for our final presentation.
In the final group presentation portion of our Hamlet project, students will be required to complete a PowerPoint or Prezi presentation outlining the main points of their group paper, which is their character study. And in doing so, they're going to have to follow a specific screen design layout. All team member names must be present at the bottom of each slide. They need to have clickable links for their film portion, their presentation portion, and their paper portion. Now they're giving us the highlight reel here. Presentations are no longer than 5 minutes. However, they need to be visually exciting and contain a graphic such as this one that I developed. I took a photograph of me in an Elizabethan costume, and using PowerPoint, I superimposed it on a photograph that I actually took at Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London. And I was able to splice the two together and make a sort of antique colored filter. And on that graphic, I was able to put the tenets of character study and things such as motivation, objective, that kind of thing. As referenced in the presentation layout, here you can see that characters' decisions and actions, background information, interactions, and motivations are all going to be closely studied over the course of this project. And students will be expected to distill this into their final presentation. So the rubric for the final presentation is fairly straightforward. We are looking for 4 main things. Creativity and visual appeal. Very important that they follow the guidelines of style and include all the technology standards that we have discussed throughout the study of Hamlet. You have a range of 1, an unacceptable grade, to 3, excellent. And within that 3-point range, there's a variation of a plus and a minus. So that would be the equivalent of, an A, an A minus, a B plus kind of a thing. They're going to have to demonstrate their proficiency using technology, again in Prezi or PowerPoint. They have to provide textual evidence. This is key when they're distilling their final paper's argument. And finally, the oral portion. They must actively contribute in their groups. Every single person needs to speak. This is not one carrying the team to victory. So that will be noted on individual presentations. I think that just about does it for the literary luminaries. Hopefully you have a better idea of our Hamlet group project and the 3 parts that we have required students to complete. Sounds like a lot of fun. It is a lot of work, but at the age of 17 or 18, our seniors should be able to do this and pass with flying colors.